And we are live. Good morning, everyone. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben here for the daily. What the pluck is going on in cryptocurrencies? All right, my friends, I'm telling you right now, folks. All right, I'm going to give you news that if it doesn't make you realize what's going on in the next month to 2 months, then you just ain't. There are people on Bloomberg who were anti-Bitcoin 3 months ago. Oh, it doesn't make any sense, but I don't see the point. I don't see this. I don't see that. Well, mother, maybe it's because you're not looking close enough. Maybe the reason you don't see it is because you're so high up in your friggin' New York tower that you can't see the approaching tidal wave of adoption. My friends, I'm just going to jump right in here and show you some things. Right? Over the last 4 weeks, the ETFs that originally launched by themselves have accumulated over 220,000 Bitcoin in 1 month. 1 month. Now, you want some even crazier news? The amount of liquid available Bitcoin is now under 1,000,000 Bitcoin. The ETF, listen to me when I say this, folks. The ETFs alone are purchasing 12.5 times what is produced every day of the Bitcoin. Just the ETFs, 12.5 times what is produced every day. Just the ETFs. And what people don't realize is there are hedge funds, there are funds that do not own an ETF, do not run an ETF, that can now purchase Bitcoin ETFs for their funds. So all of the insurance companies, all of the retirement plans, all of the universities, all of the treasuries of all of the businesses can now purchase an ETF. And the guy on Bloomberg, this is what he doesn't get. The guy on Bloomberg is like, yeah, but the trading volume of the ETFs is relatively low. Yeah, you know why? because most people are buying the ETFs and then hodling them. They don't want to trade the ETFs. They want to hold it as a representational claim against the ETF's Bitcoin. They are not buying and selling. They're hodling. Okay. Here, don't take my word for it, folks. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. By the way, good Monday.
Welcome back to Squawk Box. The price of Bitcoin crossing back over the $48,000 level over the weekend, 1 month this after the launch of the spot Bitcoin ETF. This morning, trading slightly lower. Joining us right now is Anthony Pompliano, founder of Pomp Investments. Good morning to you.
Morning.
This has been a bit of a wild ride because we talked about sort of selling the news or selling the rumor, buying the rumor, selling the news. But now we've come back to buying.
Yeah. I mean, look, the verdict's in, right? Wall Street doesn't just like Bitcoin. They love Bitcoin. If you think of these assets, there's been over 5,500 ETF launches in history. Never have we had a fund get to $3 billion in AUM in the first 30 days. BlackRock and Fidelity both just did it. So two for the first time in history. And then if you look at Bitwise and 21 Shares, ARK, they're both going to hit $1 billion this year or this week. And so now you have 4 funds that are going to hit $1 billion of inflows. But the most interesting part of this is the inflows. I mean, these funds are doing $500 million a day of net inflows, but there's only 900 Bitcoin that is actually coming into the daily incoming supply. And so when you look at that, that's like $40 to $45 million. There's 12.5x more demand for Bitcoin than what's being produced on a daily basis.
So how much of this do you think is being generated by the ETFs themselves?
Well, I mean, you just measure the actual net inflows, right? And so you can just see there is way more buying pressure.
So you're saying $3 billion for BlackRock.
There's $4 billion now for BlackRock, 3.5 for Fidelity, and then you've got Bitwise and 21 Shares will both hit about $1 billion this upcoming week.
Total valuation though of Bitcoin, if
$1 trillion.
The market cap is $1 trillion. So isn't this a de minimis issue or no?
Now here's where it gets really interesting.
Most of these things aren't trading.
80% of all Bitcoin in circulation has not moved in the last 6 months. You have only about $200 billion is actually tradable. And so that means that these ETFs sucked up 5% of the entire tradable supply of Bitcoin in 30 days. I mean, Bitcoin is become Wall Street's favorite asset.
What were you going to say, Joe? I can tell you.
I'm not going to say. 5% doesn't sound like a lot. Here's what I'm
30
thinking.
days?
It used to take a lot for someone to invest in Bitcoin.
Yes.
It's real easy right now. And I don't know. Are we going to 90,000 in a year? That'd be too weird. People don't double their money by buying an ETF in a year. So I think it might be a currency that you can use because it's going to stay at 47,000.
Well, look, the world is changing for sure. I mean, last year, the NASDAQ was up 50%, right? And so there's definitely these big moves that happen in the traditional markets. Bitcoin, obviously, is that on steroids. But the other thing that's now starting to happen, Fidelity just came out. They've got a fund. It's an all-in-one fund out in Canada. And they're going to put 1 to 3% of that fund into the Bitcoin ETF. And so what you're going to start seeing is not just direct inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs. You're going to start seeing them putting Bitcoin into all of their funds because it, from a risk-reward standpoint, drastically improves the performance of these portfolios. And they're going to start to realize if I'm lagging indicators, if I'm lagging performance, if I put a little bit of Bitcoin, 1 to 3% into this portfolio, it's going to enhance their returns.
Bitcoin, I think it might be good if it stayed at 47,000 for a year because then people wouldn't worry about buying a pizza that's worth a Mercedes 2 years from now.
The joke in the Bitcoin community is the real Bitcoiners want the price to stay low so they can accumulate more of it, right? But obviously, when you have this much demand, the price got to go
a year from now. It's where
it's much higher. I think that if this continues, if we have 12.5 times more demand than we do incoming daily supply, and remember the halving is coming, so we're going to go from 900 Bitcoin to 450 Bitcoin a day. I mean, this thing's going back to its all-time high. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point.
What's that other thing called, Becky? Whenever we talk about the halving, where we all go up to heaven and something. Someone's left behind.
The rapture?
The rapture. Halving is like the rapture to you really hardcore.
Let me ask you this. You're a bull, you're an owner. What's the thing you worry about? Being wrong about?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's not so much right or wrong as much as it is like the return of this asset is going to dampen over time just as it gets larger and as the holder base changes. One of the things that hasn't happened in the Bitcoin community previously is things like rebalancing. And so when you all of a sudden give financial advisors an asset, and let's say you have a 1% allocation and it goes to 5%, you're going to sell. You're going to rebalance that portfolio. And so when the holder base is changing, you have to understand that the return profile will come down. And so if you think that you're going to buy Bitcoin and it's going to help you retire, those days probably are behind. But what it will do is outperform stock.
But then you're not in the camp of the Kathy Woods $500,000 million base case Bitcoin valuation issue. Because by the way, if that's true, then you can retire.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, it depends on the timeline, right? So if you're saying it's going to go from 50,000 to 500,000, which is 10x, and that's going to happen over the next 10 years.
Yeah, I think she thinks that that's what's going to happen.
That's not that crazy, right? I mean, again, NASDAQ was up 50% last year. I'm not saying NASDAQ's going to go up 50% every year, but we live in a world where it has completely lost all ties to reality because we are printing an enormous amount of money. The interest payment on the debt is $1 trillion. Right? It was a video game number. And so in that world, how much are these assets worth when the denominator is just being debased away? They're going to be worth a lot more. You can just start putting zeros on the end of the values of these assets.
Anthony Pompliano. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay, we just hit $49,000 of Bitcoin. What people have to understand is that every morning, there is now a group of Wall Street people who are opening up their computers, looking at the price of Bitcoin and going, holy shit. And then they're allocating capital over portfolios, folks. Why do you think China is basically breaking their neck to launch an ETF this month? China doesn't fast track anything. And they're fast tracking an ETF for Bitcoin for China. For those of you who were not around in 2016 and 2017, you had what was called the Shanghai effect. Asia would buy up friggin' Bitcoin so fast that you could set your watch by it. Folks, listen to me. Just now, Wall Street is starting to wrap their heads around what the Bitcoin is fundamentally. Did you hear that guy say, well, maybe Bitcoin should stay at 48,000 for a year? Well, people don't double their money on ETFs. That's not how it works in the old system. Yeah, you an old timer. Welcome to the future, where value meets limited supply. Well, wait. You mean it actually has like a fixed supply? Wait, you mean like a real fixed supply. Well, the old system, we had a bunch of derivatives, made sure we kept that price nice and, controlled. Yeah, welcome to Bitcoin, bitch. Bitcoin is going to double. It's going to triple. It's going to quadruple. It's gonna super duper paduper ish, whatever that is. Whatever after is quadruple, what would that be, like five-uple? I don't know. I digress. Okay. All right. Now, for those of you holding Bitcoin, yes, CM are the BTC spot ETFs gonna break Wall Street? Yes, because they can't fathom a fixed supply. They can't fathom non-manipulatable. Well, we live in the world of the Federal Reserve. If the price goes up too much, the Federal Reserve gets involved and manipulates the currency. Yeah, and you dumbasses think that's a good thing. Well, you don't want your currency to hold too much purchasing price or purchasing power. Then people will be able to buy more. See, they're so brainwashed into the system that they can't fathom true value added Austrian economics currency. They can't get out of the mental blockade of the old system's education brainwashing. Yes, exactly. They've never seen true scarcity. They've never seen true scarcity. They've always had an entity. They've always had an entity that could manipulate the scarcity. They've never had a blockchain that can't be manipulated. They've never had a commodity that cannot be manipulated. Look, oh, dude, Nash, exactly. You want to fix Evergrande? Give it a loan for the Chinese government. Gives Evergrande a bridge loan for 1 year. And then uses that bridge loan to buy Bitcoin. Then after the year, have Evergrande pay back the government. Boom. Evergrande is then now recapitalized. It's the same thing with Social Security. Think if the government used all of our Social Security payments and put a portion of them into Bitcoin for our whole lives. You're good. You're good. Joe knows crypto, my boy. Shout out to you. And trust me, Joe does know cryptos. Wait for pension funds to get in. Oh, Lordy. All right. For those of you who don't know, Joe knows crypto. That's his world, folks. Joe knows crypto that's his world. He lives in this, or he did, last I heard. If I'm wrong, please correct me. He's been in the old system for years with pension funds and allocating capital and all this shit for years. When you have a veteran trader, there we go, right? When you have a veteran trader that was successful in the old system, change his name to Joe Knows Crypto. That's a little hint on where he thinks this shit's going. And folks, please, please, please get yourself a crypto-only laptop. And if you already have a crypto-only laptop and you don't have a Liberty laptop, get a Liberty laptop. If you have one or both of those, you have an affiliate link for CALIX Solutions. You can share that link on your social media. And if someone uses your link, CALIX Solutions sends you a check for every one who uses your affiliate and buys a laptop. Help grow the community safely. Word from the sponsor.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
My boy Big Al, he's nailing it. That link is found in the portal on calixsolutions.io. All right. All you got to do is log in and get it. Yep. Big Al, shout out to you, brother. Love you. All right. Joe Knows Crypto. As Bitcoin goes up, so will the number of people trying to steal your cryptos. Boo, baby, boo. My friends, as the value of your asset goes up. Oh, and those of you holding your Bitcoin on Trezor and Ledger, did you get the email where you're no longer going to be able to opt out of upgrades? That your Trezor and your Ledger will automatically update when you plug it into your laptop? Well, wait a second. I thought it was only a query system for the blockchain. How can it receive an open message, an open executable message, and upgrade itself? Folks, those of you who know what I just said. If it's a cold wallet, how can it be triggered by an executable file from outside of its system? Anyone got an answer to that? No. You know why? Because it isn't a cold wallet. If they can auto update your Trezor, that means they have access to trigger your Trezor, your Ledger. See, we at CALIX Solutions, we can't auto update your laptop. We set it up where your laptop cannot be auto updated. You know why? So you're in control. Folks, I got no reason to bullshit you folks. None. Oh, by the way, shout out to Kansas City. Originally from St. Louis. We don't have a football team, so I gotta go with KC. Bingo. The last thing you want is a ledger pushing an update with malware, and there's nothing you can do about it. Bingo. If it's an auto update, you can't stop it. My friends, Bitcoin, 49,000. Folks, it ain't gonna stop. I've been trying to tell people the volumes are too low on the exchanges. Yeah. Hey, The Voice. What up, brother? My brother from another mother. For those of you that don't know why he's called The Voice, that dude should be on radio. He has the best sounding male voice that you've ever heard. He's The Voice. All right, everyone watching on YouTube, you go bye-bye. I have some things I want to play that are not YouTube friendly. So YouTube, you go bye-bye. Now, those of you watching on YouTube, if you want to join the private server, in fact, those of you watching on Rumble, on Roku, on Amazon, on BitChute, on all these other platforms, if you want to watch the full shows every day and get every show I do, go to the private server. It's right up here. Use your phone, or if you're on your laptop, click the link for either Patreon or my Substack. All right? Bye-bye, YouTube.